It's going to have to be a full-blown, I am sorry, I lied, I am a terrible person, tail in between the legs, and that's what we deserve. Everything, and it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing? Like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit.
Blake Lively is spiraling as Candace Owens officially sues her, accusing the actress of manipulative, narcissistic behavior that's gone unchecked for years.
It was monstrous what she did, and she's got to pay for it.
Live birth porn.
And instead of taking the hit alone, Blake dragged Ryan Reynolds into the chaos, pressuring him to intimidate studios and tighten her grip on the Hollywood machine.
There's going to be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds.
But the defense was weak. Laughable, even. Now both Blake and Ryan are exposed, and her shiny career? It's unraveling in real time.
Boy, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of embarrassing, right?
Blake Lively thought she ran Hollywood, flipping her perfect hair, strutting through premieres like the blonde queen of a teen drama reboot. Then March 2025 came swinging.
Did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the text? Or was it right away when the Times wrote?
Right away. I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. And something just didn't. I went through Justin Baldoni's Instagram, and he just seemed like a pup.
Candace Owens had enough. No more silent watching. She launched a full-scale legal war, public, brutal, and disruptive. Blake's red carpet mask cracked, and the puppet strings she once pulled are choking her instead.
I knew a bit about her. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life, and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want.
The moment Owens fired back with a lawsuit, Blake reportedly lost it, full tantrum mode. Screaming. Crying. Breaking things like a platinum-tier toddler, realizing the universe doesn't revolve around her anymore.
Kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable. You know, it was undeniable.
Picture it, years of polishing the perfect wife, perfect mom, perfect starlet brand, obliterated by Candace Owens and a few pieces of paper. The best part? This legal circus isn't just personal anymore. It's costing Hollywood real money.
Kind of a radical thing to want, and they were arguing that, you know, careers could be ruined. Well, what could be ruined? You know, you might be a little embarrassed, but to ruin a career, there has to be some level of fraud.
We're talking hundreds of millions evaporated. Careers stalled, PR firms in panic mode, and all because Blake couldn't control her meltdowns or her addiction to playing queen maker. Studios are bleeding cash, and the public? They're loving every second. This is Blake's reality show now, and it's unscripted.
In terms of how you're presenting yourself to the public and who you are in private.
Enter Ryan Reynolds, Blake's supposed knight in shining armor. Or rather, the guy desperately trying to vanish from Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. In March 2025, he files to be dismissed from the mess. Nice try.
This filing to dismiss is essentially him saying, like, na boo boo on the defamation claim, you can't touch me because it's satire.
His defense? Just a loving, oblivious husband standing by while Blake detonated her social circle. Cute story, except this innocent spouse went around calling Baldoni a predator like he was passing hors d'oeuvres at a cocktail party.
Reynolds did call Justin Baldoni a predator.
And then came the kicker, Ryan telling the court, it was just my opinion. Satire. No harm meant. Right. Because calling someone a predator, on stage, in public, during a Deadpool promo, is just edgy stand-up now? Spare us.
There's 5 other claims. He's got extortion, he's got false light, and everything immediately falls apart there. But I'm saying even that was ill-advisable. I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit.
The judge took one look at Ryan's flimsy oops, satire, defense, and trashed it faster than one of his failed promo skits. Turns out, when you're facing claims of extortion, defamation, and career sabotage, with receipts, courts aren't exactly handing out hall passes.
got you on this extortion. His argument is so weak. He's basically saying, well, I didn't receive any money. And it's like, buddy, extortion is a lot bigger than that. You made threats to go public with sexual harassment claims so that your wife could take over the movie, which you wrote scenes for.
And here's where it gets messy, the text messages. Yep, Ryan's private chats with Hugh Jackman. Let's just say they're not aging well. Rumor is, there's more venom in those threads than anyone expected. Makes you wonder how often he trashed Baldoni when no one was rolling.
Be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds, because could you imagine the text messages between him and Hugh Jackman as they're putting together all of these scenes? I mean, it's going to get crazy.
And Friedman? Oh, he wasn't playing. He slammed Ryan as a central figure in the campaign to ruin Baldoni's career, flashing screenshots like he was headlining a legal roast. No sugarcoating. Just facts and fire.
We're all going to have to pay for the associated inconveniences, the travel, the lawyers, if Hugh Jackman, anyone getting deposed who's got to make arrangements for it if they have to get their own lawyers or whatever it is. And here's Ryan, should be looking out for them and not himself.
But let's bring the spotlight back to the tantrum queen herself, Blake Lively. Candace Owens didn't pull punches, she obliterated her. No filters, no spin. Just cold truth, Blake is a pampered chaos engine. Born into privilege, handed a golden career, and still couldn't resist lighting fires out of sheer insecurity. Because for Blake, getting everything was never enough, she had to destroy what she couldn't control.
Without question, I really do think she's just a spoiled brat. Like, it just goes down to something that simple. She's a spoiled brat, and she's used to getting what she wants from a time that she was a kid. And this is what she wanted, and I do think that people have not pieced together.
Candace said it outright, Blake Lively invents drama just to stay relevant. And the media? She used it like a weapon. Remember that glossy New York Times expose she waved around like a golden sword? Owens shredded it, exposing how Blake twisted the story, erased key facts, and smeared Baldoni to boost her own image. That fake, America's sweetheart act? Candace wasn't buying a second of it. She called Blake out for what she is, a narcissist obsessed with power, control, and public worship, and now, finally, facing real consequences.
Like Lively were deluded enough to believe that it was inorganic traffic online. Like this, there's no way people don't like us. We're so wonderful. We're so amazing. We're so hot. We're so pretty. Our friends are rich. We know Taylor Swift. The world loves us. Like, come on.
And honestly, it's beyond satisfying to watch someone finally challenge Blake's empire of lies. For years, she hid behind designer gowns, Stepford wife interviews, and a flawless PR mask, while quietly ruining lives. But Candace Owens didn't flinch. She came armed with facts, lawsuits, and zero tolerance. The takedown was so brutal, Blake's own PR team probably needed a wellness check. No more hiding. No more sweetheart spin. Owens made it crystal clear, Blake isn't misunderstood, she's entitled, calculating, and long overdue for a reckoning.
Everything is falling down for you guys because people perceive you as bullies. And you're essentially saying like a bully argument, which is, so what, big deal, sorry your feelings are hurt, but this isn't a rise to an actual claim.
Now Blake's stuck in the courtroom circus she built herself, lawsuits piling up, Hollywood distancing fast, and the public finally seeing past the gloss. That tantrum? Just icing on the meltdown cake. Because when Candace Owens stepped in, she didn't just question Blake's story, she torched the entire script. And watching Blake squirm under real pressure? It's the best unscripted drama in years.
Skinned outraged, essentially, over us bullying you. That doesn't make you look good on paper, it doesn't make you look good in the court of public opinion, it makes you look like what you actually are, which are a bunch of bullies who think you can get away.
Let's not pretend Blake was some innocent bystander. She was calling the shots. Every leak, every whisper, every shady move, pointing straight to her. Ryan Reynolds didn't just randomly decide to nuke Justin Baldoni's reputation. Blake had him on strings, pulling hard, dragging him into her personal vendetta like a well-dressed attack dog.
Look at this guy, Sklenar, like Brandon Sklenar. What a miserable guy. I cannot stop focusing on him because...
And let's be honest, Ryan's macho act never fit. Sources say Blake was behind the whole persona. She told him to play tough, intimidate execs, throw his Hollywood weight around like a blunt instrument. It wasn't enough for her to manipulate. From the shadows, she wanted Ryan to storm the gates for her. And of course, he did.
Every uncomfortable moment we felt like, well, now they could do the same thing. You know, but
Right.
Brian Friedman can say, here, exactly. Okay, you want to do a settlement? Here it is. We're going to write, you are sick people who tried to take over my movie and crush a little peanut like me just because I'm a man bun wearing, soft, beautiful soul.
Remember the infamous January 2024 Penthouse meeting? It reads like deleted mafia footage. Blake handpicked Ryan as her enforcer. Reynolds, usually the snarky, lovable guy, suddenly transformed, screaming at Baldoni while Blake sat back, cold and calculating. She wasn't a spectator. She was the puppet master, scripting every chaotic beat.
Has true daddy issues, and like he's had this sociopathic character trait since he's been in my drama club.
Let's not forget Blake's magnum opus, her unhinged demand list at Sony. She walked into those meetings like a wrecking ball, threatening to derail production unless every exec bowed to her diva wish list. Word is, Sony staff needed group therapy after surviving her tantrums. And when the public got a look at those 170 pages of receipts, the illusion shattered. The America's Sweetheart mask was gone, revealing a control-obsessed, power-drunk manipulator who treated everyone around her like disposable chess pieces.
I actually do believe that Ryan Reynolds has demonstrated that he's a narcissist. He's a total narcissist. He cannot comprehend a world. I truly believe he cannot comprehend a world in which him and his wife are not liked.
But Blake didn't stop at controlling Ryan. Nope. She escalated her petty war straight to the studio level. Welcome to the extortion chapter of this Hollywood saga. Sony execs didn't mince words. Blake and Ryan's legal team threatened to walk off set, fully aware it would nuke millions in production costs.
That tend to be that vicious and be that angry have unresolved pieces of themselves. And he said as much in this It Ends With Us skit that had nothing to do with the movie. He said he has like unresolved issues, and they're daddy issues. They're like daddy issues.
And we're not talking about spare change. These were massive studio projects, tight schedules, locked contracts, entire crews depending on timelines. Blake leveraged it all like it was her personal playground, holding the studio hostage to feed her ego.